All right, we're now joined by Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Fastenal Ford. Carl, we got an extra day here in Kansas. Tell us about how your day went on the new Zone Tread tire here.
Yeah, the day went really well. We were extremely fast. So that was good. The tire seems to drive really well. The track changed a lot throughout the session, so I think that we're going to see changing track conditions throughout the whole race. It took a lot of rubber, and really I thought got a lot slicker. So I think it's going to be a 2 or 3 groove racetrack, which is great for all of us.
All right, we'll open up for questioning. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Just raise your hand, and we'll run it through. State your name and affiliation. We'll start right up front here with Stan.
I don't have to tell you, right, Carl? Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Carl, I looked at the weather today, and it's going to be about 30 degrees colder on Sunday. So is today a big benefit for tomorrow in qualifying and then a lot less benefit for Sunday?
Well, we didn't spend any time in qualifying trim, so we were kind of just focusing on some items we wanted to try, and this day helped us do that. The biggest problem with today is that the rain came and the conditions changed throughout the whole test session. So, like I said, beating Matt Kenseth here is probably the biggest thing I could have done. You give me so much trouble because I'm always late, and so yeah, I know, but I'm earlier than you. I mean, that's all that matters to me. You gonna come up here with me and hang out? I specifically requested media with Matt. So yeah. So yeah, I think that the temperature is going to be a big factor. I think that also it's supposed to possibly rain Friday night, so we might see the same problem Saturday trying to get the cars tuned in with the changing track. Get off.
What's up?
How's it going, Matt? Good. Is that your best, Matt Kenseth impersonation?
No, I think I got Brad's chair.
Yeah. You need some sunglasses on.
All right, we're now
So introducing, this is driver of the Dollar General Toyota, Matt Kenseth, points leader.
You hear that? Carl said Toyota.
teammate. Well, I mean, it's just a statement of fact. It's not an endorsement.
Oh, I thought it was an endorsement or mention. Were you
So,
asking serious questions? Just carry on.
Okay.
All right.
Did I answer your question, Stan? I'm sorry. Okay, all right. All right.
We'll let Matt say a couple words, Matt. We came in here a day early, and you're here, obviously, driver of the number $20 General Toyota, as Carl pointed out. But, Matt, how did the track feel for you out there today?
I think the track was fine. We were just kind of off most of the day, so I thought it was in good shape. It seemed like they tried to put rubber down in the corners or did something that looked kind of different. But I thought everything with the track was fine. It's in good shape.
All right, we'll open it back up for a question. We'll go to Randy.
I don't know.
Hey Matt, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. As the winner of the only 2 races on this new track, do you want or need new tires, or are you happy with the old tires? Is this going to...
I would have rather left everything alone for us, especially after today. So today was a struggle. I was glad we got the extra practice, and of course tomorrow's a new day, and we got a lot of stuff to look at. But today was kind of a struggle, and whenever anything is working good for you, you'd kind of like to leave everything the same. But yeah, when you come back, it's the same for everybody. You just got to figure it out.
Anything that's bad for him is good for the rest of us, so we're happy with it.
Go to Jeff.
Pemberton, you want to come up here too? You want to come up here and join us? All right. Oh, you actually have to do something. I thought you were just monitoring us. All right. All right. Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. I was wondering how big of a change is the tire? I mean, obviously, sometimes when the cars get adjustments, it can be off, a little something can make it off a lot, but it was your struggles today, because of a huge change, or, I mean, is there any way to quantify how big of a deal this is?
Well, the real answer for me is I don't know. Probably the guys. Did you do a tire test?
No.
So probably I know Kyle. I think and I think Greg was here. So some of those guys could probably tell you better. I don't really know. Different car. It's 6 months later. weather's a lot different. So there's a lot of other variables, a lot of things that change, you know, since the last time we were here in April or whenever it was. So it's hard for me to say.
Does this tire feel different than other tires in the past? Will you not be able to know its effect until you're racing on people? Kind of like the Atlanta thing. You know, you're out there and you're like, oh, this feels like it matters. You know?
Well, I mean, for me, again, I don't, it's hard to say unless you can run the other tire, you know, kind of back to back on the same weekend. So I did the second part of the Atlanta tire test with that dual zone tire, but that's a totally different kind of racetrack and all that. And we put on, everything was fine. I couldn't, you know, if you would have told me it was you know, I knew it was a different tire, but if you would have told me it was something new with that dual zone thing and all that, I went to really knowing the difference.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's hard to tell. The neatest thing I saw was that sheet they gave us that showed the part that is interesting to me is how they map the racetrack and how much different the surfaces are. I think it's pretty neat for Goodyear to be able to understand all of that and work towards the best tire they can. That's good for everybody.
Robin liked your answer. He was nodding. You see that?
Was he?
He was
Okay.
He was giving you one of these.
So he is monitoring us.
We'll go to Bob and then Brant.
He's holding up cue cards back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right after you ask a question, he holds up a card.
I thought that was cash. He was gonna. Yeah.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Did you guys test the car that you're going to race, or did you test your backup, or is that determination made tonight?
I almost had to go to a backup, but no, we're going to race this car.
I can't give away strategy secrets.
That's a big
You'll
one.
have to watch it the whole time. Have to watch it the whole time. I don't know what he's going to do. He was planning on running this one, but the way it ran today, he might change his mind. I don't really know because I came straight over here, so honestly, I'm not really sure.
Brant James, ESPN.com. For both of you guys, how tough a balance is it to strike between competing against a teammate in the chase and at the same time sort of being that good company guy that's trying to advance the organization as a whole? I mean, you know, Matt, for you specifically, you're in that situation now.
Well, I think you can be both, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything changes. I mean, I think you want to be both. I mean, I think, you know, Carl and I have been, you know, we're teammates for a long time too, and I think, you know, I've always said, I think when Sunday starts, it's 1 against 42 as it should be. You never want to put your teammate in a bad spot if you can help them and not hurt your own effort, all that kind of thing. I think you always try to do, but you know, at the end of the day, it's about your respective team, and I think being a good teammate is really, you know, throughout the meetings during the week, sharing information in practice. You find something that helps your car, you know, you go talk to them about it, work with their crews, work with the drivers. So I always feel like that's more being, you know, good teammates is trying to work together to get, you know, all 3 of your cars. You know, the goal is to have all 3 cars run 1, 2, 3, you know, and of course your goal is for your car to run 1, but you know, you try to help them as much as you can, but you know, on race time it's racing. They drop the green and everybody's going to go out and try to get the best finish they can get for themselves.
Yeah, you want to compete with each other just hard enough to raise everyone's game within your camp. You know, that's how you want to do it. And the other thing is, it's really nice to be able to lean on your teammates, and like Matt said, the things that they've worked on, not just that week or that year, but the things they've built over the years. I mean, even now, Greg and Ricky and I benefit from the things that Mark Martin and Jeff Burton and Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth, everybody's done before us. So you got to realize that in real time. And it took me a long time to really understand the value of all that work that your teammates put in.
Is it tough, though, you know, this time of year, if your corner of the shop maybe figure something out? I mean, you're expected, I guess, to go in there and say, that's what we got. I mean, human nature at all? Not
Well, I
wanting
don't
to
know.
give
Yeah,
that
I don't
up?
know if they changed anything over there since I left, but our shop is round, so we don't have any corners. So we all share equally. It's one big circle. It's like the circle of trust. We're all in it.
He doesn't want to answer your question. That was pretty clever. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's like having a sibling. You know, I mean, you love them, but you want to beat them. You know, I mean, that's the whole point. So I think at the end of the day, like I said, you compete to the point that it stops raising both of your levels of performance, and it also it's always in flux. I mean, if you know, if the points continue the way they are in our camp, then definitely if you know, there's nothing I should hide from Greg Biffle because he's got a better shot at winning a championship for our whole team.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Carl, what was it that happened to you last week? And it seems like you can lose points so much easier
Yeah.
than you can gain them when you do well.
Yeah.
And, right? But what exactly was it? Because Robbie said it was really rare, something that didn't happen often.
I have not heard the very final ruling of exactly what happened, but basically we had wheel that came loose and was loose enough that it broke the studs off of the left rear. And so when I pulled in the first time, we only had 2 studs on there, and we kind of got everything tightened up as best we could and just tried to roll around, but it wasn't going to work. So the guys changed a hub in 13 laps under green, which was pretty good, but we still don't know if it was a manufacturing problem. I don't think it was my tire changer. He does a great job, and all the data showed that he had it tight. So just one of those things that in racing that can happen. It's very, very frustrating.
You can't do much about it, but obviously, do you feel like you can make any of that up enough to get back in it?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of racing left, and you know, if we can go out and you know, if our speed today is any indication, if we could go out and possibly win this race or win a couple races, and if these guys had some trouble, I mean, it can happen. Anything can happen. So the biggest thing when I got back to the shop, Jimmy Finnig, we started talking. He looked me straight in the eye. He said, "Look," he said, "I don't quit." And he said, "We're going here to win this thing. That's it. Till we can't, we will." So that's all you can do.
Scott Traylor, Sports Radio 810 WHB, Race Boys. Carl, first of all, is there a lot of drop off on the tire? I mean, can you slide it around? Does it recover good? Does the car feel better at the end of the run? Just take us through the tire from the beginning of the run to the end, and how many good laps can you get out of it?
Did you make a long run on stickers? Or?
It's 3 laps long.
Yeah. Me neither. So you say you got tired?
It's hot in there.
I got some cookies and stuff if you want them back at the hauler. Okay. So I think the tire is good. I'll tell you what happened is at the beginning of the day, the tire had a ton more grip, I thought. And then as it rubbered up, the track got a little slicker. And I could, you know, my car was a little bit loose into 3, so I'd kind of back it down in there. And I mean, you could actually drive it. So it's not knife edge, hard to drive. I believe you'll see 2 and 3 lane racing. It appears that way. So I think it's good. I can't tell how much fall off there is. They only made about a 5 or 6 lap run.
Any more questions for Carl or Matt? Go to Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Does it mean anything that somebody like Jimmy runs 20th or 21st all day and then goes out at the last minute, makes 1 lap, and goes straight to the top of the board?
I think it was a qualifying run, wasn't it?
Did you guys not make qualifying runs at all?
No, we didn't. What do you think, Matt?
I didn't.
Are you spacing out?
Yeah. I didn't really look at the board. And I didn't hear what you said. Did you say Junior or did you say Jimmy? Oh, Jimmy was fast. That's weird. Nah, I mean, it's parked by us. He looked really fast all day, so I don't know. I didn't look at the times, but maybe they did qualifying run at the end or something. But he looked like he was real fast all day. I don't think the top speed on the board really meant a lot today. You know, car goes out there and before the track got rubber and got warm, and I mean, we were 13th on the board and we weren't near that good. I mean, that made it look a lot better, and we really ran most of the day. So I don't think that 1 lap on the board, you know, meant a lot where they're ranked. Unless you're on the top, then it meant a lot.
I'll say it meant a lot to me.
Sorry, I started thinking that. I was like, I think Carl was up
yeah.
at the top. So started thinking that as I finished my answer.
Most of the practice, it meant a lot. At the end, it really didn't mean anything.
Bob Parker, Sporting News for Matt. I mean, you seem very relaxed and everything, but if today was a struggle, is there a lot of concern, or is, you know, if you struggle on Thursday, there's still plenty of time Friday and Saturday to figure it out?
I heard after Junior won the pole last week that he called me a worrywart. So if that's true, then I'm concerned. I'm always concerned about everything.
His knees are shaking under
I really am a worrier, but no, I'm not really that concerned. I mean, we had a lot of things we wanted to do today, and we didn't get any of them done or very many of them done because we sort of struggled today. So I mean, you always wish it would have been more of a productive day, but yet on the other hand, I think we can be thankful it was a free test day, and you know, we could start over tomorrow.
Stan.
Stan Creekmore once again with RPM tonight for both of you. Fans say the term 1.5 miles. We're going to be at another 1.5 miles. and they don't all the time see or feel the difference. Can you talk about what makes Kansas so different from any other mile-and-a-half track?
For me, it's important racetrack because it's what I consider my home track. So it feels a lot different to me. But on the racing surface, it's a lot like some of the other tracks. But at the end of the day, I don't know if Matt will agree with me, but it seems like everything is so precise now that there are small things that make a huge difference. So the way the transitions are into the corners. You look at a map and Texas and Charlotte and Kansas and Atlanta and all those tracks look the same, but man, they drive a lot differently. And especially with the different tires that we have to bring, different weather conditions, different banking, the way the rubber lays into each of the tracks. I mean, they're all very different in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain what makes them all different, but they're certainly all very, very unique and different. And I think that, I don't know what fans say it, but I will say I think I think it's probably not the fans that have been to the tracks live, especially the different tracks. I mean, when you come to these racetracks and watch them from the grandstands, I think they're really different. I mean, the racing at Atlanta, I don't know how you can possibly compare that to the racing at Charlotte. I mean, it's just so different. Yeah, they're the same size, but other than that, it's like saying Martinsville and Bristol are both half miles. We're going to talk about the half miles this week. Martinsville and Bristol. I mean, could they be any different? So nobody does that. I think it's just because probably the biggest percentages of the tracks that were probably a mile and a half. So people like to group them together for some reason. I'm not really sure why they do that.
Any more questions for Carl or Matt? All right, guys. Well, we appreciate the time and good luck this
Thanks, guys.
weekend.